Back in 1949, Nick Creme did something that changed the fishing industry forever. He built the first plastic worm. And today, Creme is still selling the plastic worm. And it's just crazy because you would think things would change, it would glitter, you would have something that was more sexy, but the plastic worm still catches them. So what Creme does is they actually still have 3 different styles of pre-rigged worms, lizards, and it's also a curltail worm right there. So you have your choice of any of the pre-rigged ones that you want. They also come in a smaller size. So if you're not looking for that trophy largemouth, then you can use the smaller size of these. They're very easy to use. Just tie them on, cast them out. And there's other ways. You can also cast it out, buzz it more towards the surface, or you can work the middle zone. So let it fall down some and then start reeling. And then the other way is just maybe to add a small little weight to the front of it and let it so it dives down some and gets down to that deeper zone. And you'll catch them, they'll come off the bottom on these. What's the most popular one? Well, Chris said most popular one was the live color, the natural one. So if you're in doubt and you go to the store and you're looking for one, pick this right here, natural color. There you have it. Catching fish since 1949, the Creme worm. One of the most lifelike and natural looking soft plastic swim baits there are is the Creme Little Fishie. People have been fishing these for a long time, and the reason why is because they catch fish. The reason why is because it has 2 fins that are on the back, and they're basically catching the water, and it's making that tail swim like a fish. It's not the head of the bait making it swim, it's actually the tail that's swimming on that. Makes it lifelike, and you get lots of bites. They're really easy to hook up. All you have to do is just take a little Fishie jig head, put it at the point of the head, slide it all the way around, and then it comes up right off the back. If you notice, there's a line where the plastic is put together, and that's right where you want your hook to come out. And if you do, that's going to be straight and true. It's going to run straight and true, and that makes a difference. Little Fishies come in 3 different sizes, 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5. They also have the shad and a perch version of it if you want something that looks like that. Otherwise, the jig heads come in 4 different sizes too. So you want to make sure you get the right size so you can get it down deep enough or make a far enough cast. So if you're looking for the one bait that's lifelike and natural looking that's going to get you more bites, get the Creme Little Fishie. One of the most versatile baits that you can buy right now to go fishing with is the Creme Reel Scremer. Now, the Reel Scremer comes in 2 sizes, 3.5 inch and 5 inch. That's great because sometimes you want that smaller size, 3.5 inch, when you're focusing on smaller fish, white bass, some black bass that are small like spotted bass or something like that. But when you want to go for those big fish, the stripers or the great big largemouth, you want a 5 inch version to go after them. And there's so many different ways of rigging them. I actually have 3 of them set up right here. I'm going to show you. The first one, super popular, especially if you're fishing around grass or vegetation, is having a bladed jig bait. This is a chatterbait that I put this on. This is a smaller 3.5 version that I put on there, the Reel Scremer. As you can see, I attached it and then I rigged it up so that it fits inside there, so when it's going through, the paddle section is going through, and as you can see, the body's still there, and that's great. I tell you what, tight wiggle, you get in that vegetation, and this is the perfect way to rig this. And it's so simple. All you have to do is just thread it up the hook and weave it around, have your boot tail pointed down. So there you have it. That's one way. The next way that's super popular is to add it on just a jig head. Now, that's all we did here. This is the 3.5 version. And so it's actually on this is a Pico scope eye jig head, and it has a wire keeper. So not only will this reel screamer go on there, it will stay on there all day for multiple fish. You'll be able to catch on it. Really easy to rig. All you have to do is take the point of it, circle it around, and up it goes, and there you have it. There it is, simple. All you have to do to fish this is just cast it out and reel it back. You just put it in the strike zone where they're biting. That's the important thing. You got to put it in the strike zone. So you can fish this near the bottom, or if they're surfacing up on the top, you can reel it faster. Again, the boot tail is pointed down on this bait. The belly weighted hook is the other way to rig these. And this is just perfect. It's like peanut butter and jelly. It's that good. You spin it on at first. This is how you attach it. You spin it on, and then once you have it on, you go back through, you weave the body of it through there. Now there's two lines that run through this reel screamer. That's where you put it. It's like a channel. It helps you direct where the body of the lure is going to be. Once that's inside that channel, then all you have to do is go through it, pull it up. There you go, just like that. This is it. This is a weighted belly hook. And of course, this is another one that it's perfect. You can fish it up towards the top, you know, when they're schooling, or if they're around aquatic vegetation or stumps or something like that, and you're fishing, it works good for that. But it's really good after going after big fish that are down low, even walleye, bass, you name it, fish that are on the bottom, stripers. You can reel this real slow. It's not going to get hung up because it's pretty much weedless. So that's the other one. There's one last thing that we like to put them on, and that's on an Alabama rig. Of course, it's going to take your whole box. They come 5 to a box. It's going to take all of them just to rig one. But the thing about this is it looks so alive with the reel screamer on it. It's crazy how alive it looks, but it's so easy to put. You just take the body of the reel screamer, you curl it around that hook, you slide it up, it turns over, and then you have it. It's all done. So there's a good example right there with it on the bait. And so an Alabama rig, rigged up, it's ready to go. It's going to catch lots of fish, lots of different kinds of fish. So there you have it, the Creme Reel Screamer. It's the perfect bait. It's versatile. It'll catch big fish, small fish, and best of all, that trophy fish too, especially the 5-inch version. The Reel Screamer by Creme. It's the most versatile bait you can buy. Going for big fish, the one thing you look at is getting big baits. How big? How about 16 inches long? That's right. Creme has the 16-inch Coachwhip. Now, Coachwhip is a worm that runs down. You can see by the head of it is a solid bait all the way down to here. Then it goes into this tail, and the tail actually, when it's coming through the water, looks like it's swimming. A lot of times I saw it underneath the water. I thought, man, it could be a snake, that could be anything. As it's going through the water. A lot of things came through my mind when I was thinking about fishing the Coachwhip. And most of it was, man, if you're fishing at night and you need a big bait, big profile, or if you're fishing at lakes that have really big fish, let's say you're fishing Fork or Sam Rayburn, places like that where they got giant largemouth bass, this is it. The Coachwhip is made for reservoirs like that. A couple different ways that you can rig it. First way is you can Texas rig it. And to Texas rig it, all you have to do is just basically go through the head of the plastic, like that. Then you turn around, it comes back through, and then you can hide the point of the hook right there inside it. And then you have your lead weight in front. And the other way is to rig it on a football head jig, and we really like rigging it on a football head jig. In this case, we happen to have a Pico. It's a football head jig. I think this is a 1/2 ounce, and it has a keeper coil system on it. So all you have to do is just spin it on, and then once you get it all the way on, then I like to thread the hook into the body of the bait. And then once again, I like to Texas rig it. I like to bury the tip of it just a hair, and then there you have it. It's weedless. And this is, I mean, if you start talking, let's start talking about ledges at Kentucky Lake or places like that. Again, the Coachwhip is made for that. The Coachwhip comes in multiple different colors, so you can check that out. So if you're looking to catch a big bass, this is it. Make sure you get you a 16-inch Coachwhip by Creme Lures. Everyone loves the frog bite. I know I do. It's so exciting to watch that bass come up and blow up on a bait. And that's what it's all about. And Creme happens to have the doodad. Now this is, I want to say it's like a hybrid. It looks kind of like a shad body, but it's got frog legs. If you throw it out there, you're going to see something that's pretty remarkable, is the fact that it takes it nothing to get up on plane. It actually has 2 fins that help it get up on plane and run smooth. It's a very loud plopping as it's going through, and it can go through almost anything. They're very simple to rig. If you have a weighted belly hook, what you do is first twist the head of the frog onto the point. Now that keeper is going to keep it in place, and then you're going to run it forward just a little bit, and then you're going to push the back of the hook through, and then you see it's weedless right there. The other way to do it is just use a plain 4/0 hook. A 4/0 hook, all you have to do is just go through the front of it, just like your Texas rigging, turn it, push it up, and then go through the middle of it and push it back, and it's weedless. So there you have it. You can catch all kinds of fish with these. Doesn't matter if there's brush or if there's grass or if there's rock. You can fish these anywhere. Very aggressive. You want to keep it going during the shad spawn. Heck, you could use them any place as long as there's bass or other game fish that love to eat frogs and shad. So check them out. It's the Doodad by Creme Lures. Just how good is this Creme lure? Well, I tell you what, they brought it back. It's not often that Creme brings any lure back, and in this case they have. That's right, they brought back the tube worm. The reason why they brought it back was it was customer demand. It's crazy. But anyway, tube worm's a little different than other worms that are out there in the marketplace. So instead of being a solid plastic, it has a hollow cavity in towards the tail that runs up to the tentacles that are on the very end, and then the head of it is solid. So you can hook like a 3/0 hook, fine wire onto it, and then Texas rig it. But what happens with this bait that doesn't happen on those other worms is tube worm is able to separate itself from the worm weight, unlike other worms. So what happens is this worm right here can separate from the weight, and then it can be pulled back down, all without moving the worm forward. And that's what happens normally, is a worm gets moved forward. In this case, the worm can actually be worked up and down in one spot for long periods of time. And that is enough to drive a bass mad. That's it. That's the cream tube worm. They brought it back. Make sure you get some.